You're listening to the Chic Code Podcast with Wirda Alisa and Sophia Arisa. All things chic, candid, and comedy. Salam sejahtera, saya Sophia Arisa.
Dan saya Wirda Alisa.
Dan kami pada hari ini akan mengundang tetamu yang sangat-sangat istimewa.
Ya, pasti kalian pernah melihatnya di kaca TV anda.
Ya, betul. Pada jam 8 malam setiap hari.
Ya, betul. Memperkenalkan Puan Hazlina Abdul Halim.
Terima kasih puan-puan yang sewaktu dengannya.
Oh my God, it's like watching my girl crush in real life.
Correct. Kan kita as a kid kita tengok kat depan.
Always wanna be like her.
Kan?
Saya rasa macam aura dengan vibes dalam Chic Code ni tiba-tiba macam menyerlah gitu tiba-tiba.
Because you are in the room with us.
Of course.
Saya rasa penampilan ada gaya dengan hanya dua kata-kata salam sejahtera macam jadi gitu.
Jadi tak?
Jadi tak.
Okeylah,
kita belum properly introduce lah. We have Miss Hazlina Abdul Halim with us here today in the studio, and she is the MP for East Coast GRC. Right.
Yes, betul.
We are so honoured to have you here. Thank you so much to take
my
your
honour.
time off your busy schedule to sit down here with us, have a girly conversation.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm big fans of the work that you do, always for supporting womankind, and really, really thrilled to be a part. So thank you for being so welcoming.
No, thank you for coming here.
Kita actually nervous.
Our honor, you know.
Tidaklah.
I had satu request.
Ya, Puan.
Hazlina.
Ya.
Boleh tak you buat in your newscaster voice, macam you apa tu welcome kan?
Macam buat
Chic
the
Code.
Chic Code podcast punya intro, but in a newscaster voice.
Okay.
Your style.
Boy, saya dah pencin kira-kira 7 tahun saya rasa kali terakhir bila menyampaikan berita. Tapi mungkin kalau saya boleh mohon puan-puannya kalau kita selain daripada menyampaikan berita, kita juga menyampaikan rancangan-rancangan hal ehwal semasa macam detik dan sebagainya Jadi kita try versi tu pula lah.
Boleh.
Yes.
Dan satu lagi suara tu tak kira lagi pergi sebagai penyampai ke, sebagai seorang ahli parlimen ke, anggota parlimen ke, sebagai seorang anak ataupun seorang isteri ke, suara sama je sebenarnya.
Ya ke sama?
Cara dan gaya mungkin kita cuba
Okay,
kita cuba.
cuba.
Jadi nak tengok puan-puan ke nak tengok kita punya yang sedang mengikuti ni.
Yang sedang mengikuti.
Jadi nak introduction gitu
Ya, betul.
Okey.
Ya.
Okay. Salam sejahtera, saya Hazlina Halim dan pada malam ini kita akan mengupas isu-isu terkini terutama sekali yang mendatangkan kesan kepada kaum wanita dan juga keluarga bersama dengan kedua-dua tetamu kami ataupun kedua-dua pengasas rancangan podcast yang amat diminati, dikenali dan juga diikuti Chic Code. Bersama saya Sophia dan Wirda. Apa khabar?
Kabar baik.
Macam tukar pula ni.
Ya betul. Saya rasa macam dalam detik mak saya mesti bangga.
Betul juga lah ya.
Ya, mak saya mesti bangga lah.
Oh wow. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Ini spontan kita tak rancang pun tadi
That's why. So you're such a natural.
Such a professional, such a natural. We should learn more lah.
Of course.
Kan, pasal kita ni podcast main rembat aja.
Itu yang orang suka kerana ia sangat-sangat kata orang tu ranggi, otentik dan
Ranggi.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So, tadi macam you dah buat macam news presenter voice kan? Macam on a podcast setting like this, is it easier for you to just be yourself?
saya fikir tidak. Kita mungkin boleh cuba mengambil sudut pandangan istilah yang dipanggil etika. which is etiquette.
Yeah.
Etika itu bermakna apabila kita berhubung dengan seseorang, kita menyesuai seseorang itu dan juga keadaan. Etika tidak kira sama siapa saja. Jadi bagi saya yang penting ialah kita sesuaikan etika kita, tetapi tidak boleh hilang keaslian dan jati diri. Jadi tak kiralah di mana saja kita berada, mesti orang yang sama, cuma mungkin menghormati keadaan dengan cara berbeza lah. So to answer your question in a podcast, mestilah saya rasa tidak mungkin kita pun vibe check kira macam pas tadi kan. Alhamdulillah
Alhamdulillah.
Jadi kita selesa. Jadi mungkin ini akan mendatangkan peluang untuk kita bertukar pandangan, berbincang dan berkongsi pendapat dengan kata orang tu lebih ikhlas lagi lah. Kalau kita bekerja, kita profesional, sama macam awak berdua sekarang ini bertugas menjalankan amanah sangat-sangat profesional. Tapi saya rasa podcast yang Wirda dan Sofia terajui sememangnya candi, ranggi, dan itulah yang ramai peminat yang selalu menonton dan mengikuti. Kalau sampai live stream menjangkau jutaan penonton.
Masya Allah.
Betul tak?
Betul. Masya Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
Puan Haz, mesti nanti kan kat komen mesti cakap tak selesa lah tengok Wirda sangat sopan.
Tak ada.
Betul-betul dia
Tak adalah.
Yeah, because we look so like today.
Tak adalah. Saya rasa sangat-sangat macam lucu lah kan tadi. Kedua-dua Sofia dan Wirda seperti penyampai, tapi tak biasa seperti pun, memang penyampai pun sebagai podcasters kan. Ini lagi penyampai era baru.
Era baru
Ya, kita harap kita boleh macam empower women macam Puan Hazlina jugalah.
InsyaAllah. Sama-sama kita berusaha.
Betul.
Yes.
So I nak tanya, okay, when you were you started to be a newscaster at 20 years old.
That is correct.
Macam can you macam tell us how did you feel macam the first day at work?
Yeah.
Kan mesti macam nervous like penyampai radio. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a journalist, was it? Journalist and a news presenter. How do you feel on the first day of work?
Actually, mulanya saya dalam bidang media ni, sebenarnya waktu itu saya berusia 19 tahun. Saya merupakan seorang pelajar pelatih atau intern di RIA 897. Itulah pendedahan pertama kepada penyiaran, which is broadcasting kan. Dari situ ibu dan ayah saya, mereka merupakan dalam bidang kejuruteraan. Jadi jadi bidang media maupun seni ni tidak terkandung lah dalam pengalaman mereka. Jadi bagi saya bermula daripada waktu itu masih lagi boleh cakap corong radio. Sekarang dah tak ada corong lagi. Kita semua live stream kan sekarang. Dulu daripada bermula dari radio dan kemudian ke televisyen dan ke bilik berita, pasti gementar. Dan saya rasa ada rasa gementar tu sebenarnya bagus, kerana kita akan sentiasa rasa macam harus berlatih, harus menyelidiki trend-trend terkini. Jadi kita we're kept on our toes, right? We always wanna be good, and I think it's good to be nervous. Dan saya rasa setiap buletin yang pernah saya sampaikan pasti ada rasa berdebar. Saya rasa yang paling berdebar tu bila saya sampaikan berita, kira-kira tidak silap saya 15 tahun. Tapi meskipun sebegitu, setiap buletin apabila kita countdown kan, kita dengar pasti ada rasa berdebar itu. Dan saya rasa dengan amount ataupun jumlah yang mencukupi, sebenarnya ia adalah sesuatu yang baik. Jadi pasti gementar, dan sama seperti Wirda dengan Sofia, saya bertemu dengan ikon-ikon berita yang saya menonton waktu itu, seperti Maimun Mokti yang merupakan editor, dan ramai lagi seperti Daud Yusof waktu itu, Alwi Aziz dan sebagainya. Jadi sama-sama rasa seperti, betul ke ini peluang saya? Jadi alhamdulillah rezeki diberi, dan begitulah kira-kiranya. Saya ingat, tidak silap saya, buletin berita pertama yang saya sampaikan Hari Raya Haji. Jadi saya ingat Hari Raya Haji waktu itu, kerana saya pakai baju saya rasa kebaya lah, dan berserta dengan selendang.
It's your signature look.
Itulah daripada pertama kali kan. Jadi mungkin dari situ terbit kebiasaan menggunakan baju kurung dengan yang lengkap lah dengan selendang. Saya tak perasan sebenarnya signature atau tidak, tapi ada ramai yang kata lah.
Yes, yeah. And the selendang look is coming back, you know.
Yes, I'm really so happy. Yes. Saya rasa ini trend yang menggalakkan lebih ramai yang menyukai kembalinya selendang ni kan. Nampak sekarang. Saya rasa tahun lepas hari raya lebih ramai yang menggunakan, dan mungkin tahun ni lebih lanjut lagi. Saya memang gemar lah.
Yeah, we love it too lah.
Kan, every time kita nampak trend, macam this is so Puan Hazlina.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so you started out dekat CNA. Lepas tu you tell other stories, other people's stories for a living. Ni sekarang pula you're a politician. Kan? And then do you think those presenter days changed the way you listen to people today?
Well, I think it was the journalism days that actually taught me the power of listening. Because when you are connecting with somebody and you want an authentic response from them, the key is to establish the trust really quickly. Dengan cepat sekali, kita harus memastikan sesiapa yang sedang kita wawancara tu selesa dan percaya kepada niat kita kan. So saya rasa mungkin pengalaman dari situ sangat-sangat membantu, dan kadang-kala kita juga harus dengan secara intentional, so intentionally giving space kan. So to answer your question, saya yakin pengalaman sebagai wartawan sememangnya banyak membantu bagi saya mengenal pasti bahawa betapa pentingnya kita mendengar seseorang itu dengan ikhlas, dengan tekun, dan itu merupakan satu antara kemahiran paling penting sebagai seorang wartawan. Apabila kita mendengar jawapan seseorang itu, kita mungkin mengubah soalan kita.
Yeah, that's so true.
Kan, it will change, right? When you're listening to the responses, you will follow up based on the responses.
Yes.
So for sure, I think that too. I think the other one is as a journalist, you have to be brave. You have to be brave to approach your interviewees. You have to be brave in taking a principled and balanced stand in your reporting. Dan saya rasa itu satu kemahiran yang agak penting jugalah. Ada confidence, keyakinan. Kadang kita kan segan kan, kalau kita nak interview orang, perlukan kata orang tu pergi ke pasar ke, pergi ke stesen MRT ke kan. Kita tak kenal dia tak kenal kita, dan kita nak tanyakan dia mengenai isu-isu semasa. So saya rasa saya berterima kasih lah diberi rezeki untuk membina kemahiran mendengar dan bertanya.
That's a very good tip lah. Kan? For us as well.
For me especially, you're quite professional.
No lah. Please.
You're so real. That's the best part.
Yeah. We try our best lah.
Sama-sama.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also before politics, you were very hands-on with the community, from Make-A-Wish to PPIS and all the different boards you were involved in. So ada tak macam a moment yang time you bekerja, macam it feels like
really personal to you instead of it being, it's just another day at work.
Saya rasa profile seseorang karyawan di Singapura ini semakin berubah. What do I mean by that? So I do think that the profile of a young professional in Singapore is really changing. Oftentimes, and folks like yourselves too, macam you're developing a two-track professionalism. One part of it is your career. One part of it is your sense of community building, right? So sedang you're chasing the growth, whether in whatever field of choice, then you're also thinking, what can I do for the community? So selari, right?
Yeah, betul.
So alhamdulillah, I had that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to finding a cause, it is deep within you what you believe in, but that's only one part of it. Saya rasa satu lagi tu, kita kalau ada mentor, kalau ada sahabat yang boleh kata orang tu macam menunjuk, tunjukkanlah apakah di antara considerations. Saya rasa itu juga salah satu perkara yang boleh membantu kita membina kemahiran. So pertanyaan Sofia tadi mengenai personal, saya rasa setiap seorang yang membantu itu pasti terdetik kerana sesuatu yang peribadi. Mungkin seorang ibu ingin membantu seorang anak yang mungkin tidak berkemampuan kerana terfikirkan anaknya di rumah. Mungkin kan?
Yeah.
And so I think causes are always deeply personal.
Yeah.
And that is okay, because that is the first step that motivates you to do something better.
Yeah.
So for me, in all of the experiences that I've had, and in the social impact space, I think most humbling really is a reminder to be grateful tau. Apabila kita berdepan dengan kumpulan-kumpulan masyarakat yang memerlukan, yang mungkin mempunyai cabaran yang kita tidak boleh bayangkan, memang terasa macam kadang-kadang segan sangat kerana kita ni sangat bernasib baik.
Yeah,
So waktu saya bertugas, when I was working heading up Make-A-Wish Singapore, Make-A-Wish Singapore ni merupakan charity that helps children with critical illnesses.
Yeah.
So they're sick children. And just to be exposed and just to see their zest for life
Yeah.
and how the parents are supporting them, it really is very humbling, and you really, and you take it personally, right? And
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
go, what is a rough day? What is a difficult time when you have a child that's fighting for his or her life with the parents on that journey? So it's really, really very humbling. And I think that's the draw for me for that experience.
Yeah.
Personally, I think, and also I feel really fortunate lah, Alhamdulillah. I always say my mum is the OG trailblazer lah. She's still working at the shipyard. She's in her mid-60s. I know.
Amazing.
She does pipes on ships.
Oh my God,
I
are you
know.
serious?
She's a OG, right? So dia yang saya rasa macam ini adalah kelebihan lah. Kan? Saya pernah bercerita sesuatu ketika itu. Waktu itu saya di sekolah rendah. Kita kawan-kawan lah nak pergi, lepas sekolah pergi your house kita belajar. Primary school tau, belajar tau. Yelah waktu tu lah konon lah.
Yeah.
Then and I had some friends who go, I have to call my mom first to check if it's okay and whether that everyone's home. And then my thought process was, must call your mom's at home because my mom's working. Right?
yes.
And that is already a difference in experiences.
Yes.
Right? To have a working mom versus a mom who works at home,
Yeah.
for example. So I would say that all of these causes are personal, and that's why one is motivated.
Yeah.
And it is good that you feel strongly for such a cause because it comes from within and you are really ikhlas to work towards it. And I really, really believe everything begins at home. They will say
betul.
charity begins at home, kindness begins at home. Pokoknya nilai-nilai dan asas or foundation of
Yeah.
siapa kita sebagai seorang insan, saya memang percaya bermula di rumah. Dan saya rasa rumah tu sangat penting untuk menjadi sesuatu environment ataupun sekitaran yang akan kata orang tu membentuk siapa kita.
Yeah.
Nilai-nilai kat rumah, apa yang kita buat kat rumah, cara kita bercakap di rumah, cara kita hormat satu sama lain. It's even the simplest things, macam kalau balik rumah salam,
Yeah.
kalau balik rumah kena makan bersama, kalau balik lewat kena telefon. Ini semua habits dan juga nilai. Atau nilai di rumah ini kita tidak boleh go to bed angry. Kita katalah kadang-kadang selisih faham kan sama ahli keluarga kan. Tapi dalam rumah ni kita nilai yang paling penting ialah kemaafan katanya lah. Lepas tu akan terbawa-bawa lah saya fikir kan, kerana itulah cara kita dibentuk. So that's something I really hope to. My hope is that what we do, we help to strengthen the household, the home, because it is the beginning of a strong and stable family. That's the bedrock of society, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. kan?
That is so true. Because Miss Has, I think we should also let you know that in TCC kita receive emails day in day out about people complaining about macam their marriage, you know, this guy treats them this way or this girl's like this, and then we always believe that kita selalu cakap benda-benda ni semua start dari rumah.
Betul.
Kan daripada kau kecil.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, because kita dapat receive email macam like, oh, dia dapat suami panas baran. So kita always discuss macam, I think it all starts from home. Maybe like, you know, family dia orang macam
or like
ni.
generational. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Dan juga rakan-rakan lah. Kalau mereka yang di sekitar kita sebegitu, kita rasa itu yang menjadi kebiasaan. That's our standard, right? That's our norm, kan?
Betul.
But if and that's why it's really important to diversify our network.
Yeah, that is
luaskan jaringan persahabatan dan perkenalan kita. Jadi kita lebih memahami betapa bezanya manusia antara satu sama lain. Ada apa tu? Ada pepatah kan? Rambut sama hitam hati lain-lain kan.
Oh my god, dah lama tak dengar pepatah tu. Last
Betul
cikgu Melayu
kan?
saya yang cakap.
Jadi saya rasa banyak kebenaran dari segitu. Kalau kita lebih jumpa pelbagai rakyat ataupun masyarakat yang berbeza, kita lebih memahamilah cara-caranya, dan kita tahu actually the standards can be better, can be higher, you know. This is what we know, and how do we be better. So insyaAllah lah we be better together.
Correct. Macam a quote from Mr. Zul pun kan, dia cakap if you apa?
If you surround yourself with
Trash,
you'll get flies. If you surround yourself with flowers, you get bees. Because we were asking him tips on how to find a good man.
Bukan kita lah, kita alhamdulillah.
Married. But I'm saying about like people out there yang macam selalu complain about, oh, my husband is like this. My
macam mana
boyfriend
dapat?
is, So he gave that quote, and I thought that is so true lah, kan?
That's a good one. But
That's a good
I'm
one.
so glad that you are a trusted outlet for womankind.
Oh,
You know, because it's really important to be able to share all these inner feelings and concerns,
yeah.
and that you are a friend, so that women are able to share with you. I'm really macam bangga gitu, macam very happy.
Oh,
you know?
really? Thank you so much.
Which also means, right, Sufyan and Wirda, if there are ways that people who are in the social impact space or in the community building space, if we can be of service, we are your network. So as of today, I am your network, inshallah. And if there's anything that we can do for the women watching us and the families and the children, and of course the partners who support us, you know, our kaum Adam, please don't hesitate to reach out to each other. Saya rasa ada satu quote ni, kita cakap tentang quote kan. Salah satu seorang wanita yang dihormati di Singapura, our former president, Madam Halima, at one PPIS event, I think it was Hari Raya, if I'm not wrong, which we called Harmony Raya, because our intention was to have a Hari Raya event for women across different faiths. And she said this, and I will always remember it. She said, women should take control of our lives. I thought it was really great.
Yeah.
And I think it can also be applied beyond women. We should take control of our lives, right? And because it is ours, this life is one you call your own, right? It's what you make of it. And know that there are people for you to get help from. There is a whole ecosystem that Singapore is building and continue to build. And I really like that part, you know, where Madam Halima said, must take control of our lives. And I know it's not easy. I mean, with the uncertainties everywhere, sometimes, and I'm sure you feel this way when you look at, the other day I was at a school assembly, pukul 7 pagi, Allah. And I look at the kids and I thought, my goodness, this is amazing. They've got so much energy. They're so brave. They're so smart. And then I thought, wow, I don't know if I would be able to survive it if I was 7 today. Say baik dapat 40 lebih kan. you know, we are in awe of the next generation. So it's really quite I think there's so much there to unpack about how we really need to have a friend, find somebody, and also to together do our part. And I think if I can end with one thought, I think positivity is really important.
That is so true.
Not easy, but it's like macam law of attraction kan.
Yeah,
You
betul.
attract
Betul
positivity.
sangat. Yeah.
kan?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say in our podcast.
Yeah.
Kita so cakap, kalau kau negative Nancy, we call it negative
Ah
Nancy.
kan, Debbie Downer, negative Nancy.
Oh,
Faham.
Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer, it's a
Gonna
new
use
one,
that.
guys. We use negative Nancy a lot, so
Betul
don't
juga.
be a negative Nancy. If you
Yeah.
are a negative Nancy, you won't attract all the positive energy.
Yes, betul kan. Because macam they seem like if you want to attract a good man, you have to be a good woman. If you want to
You want to have a good life, and then you have to,
maybe get good friends.
macam you know, I mean,
That's right.
the law of attraction lah.
Yes, that's right. I do believe in that. But I also understand it is not easy to be positive. This world we live in there's so much going on.
Yeah.
What I do hope is that we don't lose that one thing, which is hope.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's how, as you say, we be better lah, and the attraction of positivity. And also I think a lot of times we want things ready made. Right? We come in a time or an era where things are siap, semua siap saja. But it takes effort to grow together.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you are in this phase of your life, and you and your better half can grow together lah, can be better together, because you are a partnership. It's not something that either one has to do alone. So on that note, I'm really grateful to have a very, very solid, I always call him my MVP, my most valuable person.
Shout out.
Shout out to my better half. I think it's we are where we are because of our friends who support us, our families who never gave up on us, and our spouses who believed in us and uplift us. And really it's a unit lah, and I really hope to all of the women who reach out to you that they find the hope that they're looking for, and that they continue to find the courage to get the help from you, and that you continue to thrive in your role so that you can be the network that the women need you to be, inshallah.
Inshallah, thank you so much.
Thank you. I feel so honoured, it's coming from you.
But you are helping too. See, sama-sama lah.
Yeah, betul. I feel like with this platform that we have, it's like a macam an outlet for these women to macam just let it out. It's like journaling as well. Like our email, it feels like journaling.
Kan?
Macam sometimes when they really email us, it makes them feel so much better. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Even if we read it or not, you know what I mean? At least it's out from the system.
Betul.
Yes, correct.
Kan? Tapi sekarang network kita kuat, guys. Kita ada Miss Has.
Kan?
Sama-sama lah.
Yeah.
Maybe kita should ask Miss Has like the popular question that we get from our email. How to find a good man, and how do you know he's the one?
Yeah, since you mentioned that your better half is amazing.
Well, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a very difficult question that has no one right answer. I would love to hear how you found your partners as well. But I think it is about being on a journey of discovery, and it's about growing together. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
And I think at the core of it all is the friendship, is the trust and the respect lah. This is a special person in your life. It's somebody you last see or you first see kan.
Yeah.
So I think like what you mentioned earlier, you are who you surround yourself with, and for that reason I think it is important to be able to keep that in mind when we are exploring a friendship. I also think it's very stressful to think about how do you level up from a friendship to a relationship, not so much a situationship. And
You know about situationship.
I mean, I read from books lah.
It's from a book.
Tidak lah. I mean, I see see and hear our young women and men sharing about what is it like to be friends post-COVID. I'm sure COVID impacted our social skills for sure again.
Betul.
Yeah, so I do hope that the women who reach out to you continue to have a friend in you, and at the end of the day, it's about being ikhlas lah, sincere,
Betul sangat.
authentic, inshallah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Betul sangat.
Okay, tadi kita dah mention pasal COVID and also you mentioned about the event yang dekat PPIS tu, right? And then so we knew that COVID was such a tough period for everyone, and then you were leading PPIS, lepas tu supporting thousands of people at the same time. And then what was the hardest part of that period for you, if you could remember?
Well, I always said I began my journey as the president or the chairperson of a board during COVID. So I would say I'm your COVID president. I remember our AGM or annual general meeting. We still had safe distancing rules, and the whole organization, the whole sector was pivoting service delivery in a safe manner. So I would say that. First is key to any transitions is the team. It's never one person.
That's true.
So I was really grateful for a smooth transition from my predecessor and the team of board directors who were all aligned in our aspirations. And of course, as the board, you work very closely with the colleagues, right? Our chief executives, our directors. And so that close trust relationship was really important. So to answer your question, it was venturing into the unknown. Nobody knew what we didn't know.
Yeah.
Some of it was complete trial and error. And how do you tolerate room for mistakes? Kita tak biasa dengan kesalahan. Kita kadang-kadang kita takut ataupun segan dengan kesalahan, right? How do we make room and appreciate mistakes and learn from them? I think we were really fortunate. We steered the course smooth sailingly because the whole sector came together. PPIS is a member of the National Council of Social Services, so there's a lot of support there. I think it's really about managing each other's, also being there for each other as we managed ourselves through anxious moments. Macam okay, kita ada event untuk International Women's Day. Kita nak buat gathering, actually kita nak buat film screening about this woman who was the first judge in a Middle Eastern country. Kita dah rancang sekali COVID, lepas tu tak boleh buat in person. Tu macam mana nak kena buat digital, right? So I think these were the things that was we really learned from each other. But that most amazing memory is really that during times of need, Singaporeans and people will level up. They just step forward to help. They will make that step, and I found that so encouraging, and that was why all of the giving that was done during the COVID years was exemplary. So I choose to look at it as a learning moment, and the positivities of what COVID brought, which was speeding up our digitization by like 7 years or something to that effect kan, kerana kita harus, jadi kita belajar lah. Sebelum ni macam tak reti tak itu. Then I was just thinking about the Hari Raya experience where kita video call kan.
Oh my god,
remember
birthday
that?
raya?
Yes, I do. Kan?
Semua dekat
Zoom.
Tapi pakai baju satu.
Pasti.
Macam-macam colour. Family ni
It feels
colour
like
biru.
a lifetime ago kan.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, we lived through that.
Yes, exactly.
Tapi tetap nak raya tau.
Tapi tetap nak raya.
Masih.
Betul.
Masih.
Padahal tak boleh keluar rumah.
Betul.
Oh my god, that just unlocked a memory.
Totally, right? Core memory.
Core memory.
It just brought me back to me sitting at my dining room table with my Zoom on with my aunties from wherever they were. Kalau dulu kan raya telefon kan. It was a Zoom, you see everybody. Oh, kat sini, dekat sini, kat situ. It was really, and to see so on my mum's side kita ada pangkat. So for me to see my Pak Anda, my Pak Anjang, my Mak Lang, my Makcik, my Pak Musu,
I see.
my Mak Nga. It was and it was quite fun lah, to see that. So I've always learned that everything happens for a reason, and it was needed for us to experience. And then it's for growth lah. So that was the challenge, was venturing out into the unknown and being brave. Being brave to try, and being braver to try again.
Yeah. That is so true. Wow, that's another perspective on COVID that I've never heard.
Kan?
Betul. Okay.
Puan Hazlina, so since stepping into politics kan, what's something yang you have been working on recently yang buat you macam busy lah?
Busy. Okay. Actually sebenarnya tidak kira sama ada politics ataupun tidak. Saya rasa yang paling penting ialah niatnya. Niatnya ialah untuk berkhidmat.
Betul.
dan niatnya is, the intention is to make a difference, right? And there are many ways to do that, whether through community building as a volunteer, whether through being a member of parliament, which means effectively what that means is you are representative of the people who voted for you. So for me, it's East Coast GRC, particularly Feng Shan. But I would say that I believe as a female member of parliament, I represent the females too, inshallah. Right? As a minority member of parliament, I represent the minority communities too. So that's the frame of the potential of what how we can serve lah. So in terms of what's keeping busy, I think for all of us in our first term, it's really embracing the trust that's placed in you. It's an amanah, you know.
Betul.
Right? It's a real amanah that your residents feel as if this person can help me. And they come to you with such hopes. It can be it can be something that is perhaps fairly easily solvable, like for example arrears in bills, right? We can get help to do the installment or get some support from community organizations, for example. It can be more require a bit more thinking. For example, how do you tackle aspirations that are unmet, for example, right? How do we champion a voice that is less heard? So in terms of being busy, for me is really about realizing the many opportunities there are to serve. So there's parliament, there's also helping the residents on the ground, there's also voices that we carry, the networks that we have that we meet, and the perspectives that we carry. So Feng Shan is an elder. PM mentioned about being super aged, right? So in the East, we are mature. I remembered he shared about PM shared about me celebrating 100 years, my resident's 100th birthday.
Oh wow,
Yeah. It's very common.
Oh really?
Because
in Feng Shan?
the flats in Feng Shan are older than me. Bukan you tahu, bukan you all young, very very young ni. Is older than me because it's a mature estate. Right? So it is really about ensuring that Feng Shan continues to be a home that our residents are proud of, are comfortable with. And we also have young families.
Oh, that's
right?
nice. Yeah.
Because we have, of course, we have small, we have areas of new homes, and that's why. How do you manage all of that, lah? I think the other one I really want to work on, or rather, I've been working on is to hear more perspectives of the youths. I really, really believe in the power of the youths or the young.
True.
You know, I think it's really important to have space, and so that we can really hear about the next generation's concerns, because these are the young ones who will be our leaders, and designing programs with the youth for the youth so that they have a space to share. So I've established some teams on the ground so that we have that channel, and at the same time, how do we value values, and what are the values of success? Because as a young person, you're chasing success. Betul tak? You nak berjaya, right? Then dalam menakluki kejayaan tu, apakah agaknya nilai-nilai yang mungkin kita harus pupuk dan bina juga, for example, right? The values, you know. Because this is, alhamdulillah, this is Singapore. Every school is a good school. We have access to education that is appreciated all around the region and the world, kan? So then what sets you apart, right? It is that the connection you can form, the communication, and also the nilai that makes you a better person. Itu kelebihan kita sebagai insan, right? I think that would be it. The other thing is really our Singaporeans always looking forward to becoming better. We want to see improvement, and I think that's one of the best beauties of Singapore, is a constant improvement, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's ourselves as Singaporeans. I find that we are a culture of being better.
Betul.
So those things will always be things that we are busy with in terms of building lah, you know. But it is all possible because of our teams on the ground, our volunteers, our colleagues, who really are such big-hearted individuals. It's really, really, really inspiring now to meet young people who are volunteering, to meet very elderly seniors who are volunteering, to meet young mums who are volunteering, because they want this to be the life that they lead and the next generation lead. So it's we can't do it without our volunteers, who are your neighbours, I always say.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing lah. And I think like macam because of your experience previously in like working in the community and then like now as a politician, I feel like it's very natural for you as well. Like it doesn't feel like a huge shift kan. Do you feel that it's macam a huge shift? Macam beza.
I can share a few things. People always ask me, what's the one thing that has changed since you became a member of parliament?
Yeah.
So I would say this, and I was just reflecting about it. I now kan tak pernah sebelum ni lah, tapi sekarang I now always ask where people live.
Is it sebab you nak tahu dia tinggal function ke tidak?
Oh really? It's true. Because I would like to know if I pegang amanah you. You know, right? If you are my resident or you have a business in the area that I have been given this amanah, then I want to know. Right? Dulu tak pernah tanya orang tinggal mana, awak tinggal mana, tak pernah tanya. Itu satu, I was just thinking, actually, I really do ask. And sometimes it's very nice when people tell me, I'm your resident. I'll be like, oh yay, where? You know, so that's something new. In terms of the shift, I've always believed the experiences that we undergo, yang kita pengalaman yang kita diberi ni, memangnya teratur. You know, like we are where we are meant to be. And we had to go through all that to be where we're meant to be.
I love that so much.
I really think so, you know. I really believe it all adds up to the moment.
Betul sangat.
Right? And so you're right, the community work helps me to form my networks, help me to understand the ecosystem of support, help me to understand what the landscape is like, so that I can make use of the understanding to help more people. I think that's the part yang macam rasa macam fairly smooth transition lah, kan? But there is nothing like very sobering, you know, when you think of the residents who picked you, and their trust that they give in you is a real amanah, and sometimes you are just you really want to do your part, you know, you really want to do your part for the people who trust you. And it really macam amanah tau, really rasa macam there is no English word in my opinion that can accurately capture the essence of amanah. It is way more than responsibility. Way more. I feel like it's way more than responsibility. It is something unto you to carry forward, you know. Alhamdulillah, it's been seamless. I think the other one, ramai yang, I think Cik Zul pun shared with it kan. It's about when you serve, your family and friends serve with you. Right? Your family support you for the times that you are sharing your time with your other family, which is your residents kan, and the community. So I think that's the other part lah, that our family and friends also serve with us. Kadang-kadang really tersentuh kalau kita pergi apanya tu hawker center kan, pergi pasar ke, kita jumpa kita makcik-makcik. Saya rasa yang paling touching yang selalu, okay, one more thing, I am not afraid to cry. So if that happens, please cry together.
We have tissues, kita dah standby.
Okay, sometimes you really have your elderly residents yang doakan. Really macam cakap aja pun macam bergenang, you know. They like macam, cik doakan, cik tahu susah, you know. Then you're really like, Allah, ada yang memahami, ada yang menghargai, you know. So it's really, really nice. It's touching.
Kan? Okay, so since like we're talking about like macam your on the ground works kan dekat Fungshan, what are some of the common things that people come up to you about and like Miss Haz, like please, I need help in this. Like what are some of the common issues that is happening on the ground?
I think it's very varied lah. I mean, people are always wanting to know how they can live lives better kan. I think the youth's aspirations is how do they become how do they remain competitive and ahead of the curve when trying to chart out their professional careers, for example. How do you expand your network? How do you get opportunities for internship, for example? So in East Coast, we have an internship program for youth, and then for families, you want to be able to support the families as they start a new phase of life. So the team also established what we call the Fengshan Parents Club for young parents, so that they have a community, a tribe lah, macam biasalah, got this class, got that class, right, to attend. So I find that family building years are so crucial support years. For our elderly, sometimes, like I said, your normal and my normal and your normal is very different.
Yeah.
So while we might be so used to paying everything at one tap of our phone, I still have residents, and I'm sure your elderly's family members and friends pun sama, they wait for the bill.
The physical bill.
Yes, nothing else is real. Right? Paper, they're waiting for the bill. And then if there's no bill, how to pay? Right? And if something is online only, it's very nerve-wracking. So that's why to have our digital ambassadors, or to have our community clubs or centers, or macam Heartbeat at Bedok yang ada one-stop service center, all these are very, very important support system. So that your normal, my normal, and her or his normal come closer together. So I think that's the other one as well. But we are an unlikely story in Singapore. We're 61 years old this year. We have had to be exceptional. Long may that continue. So that hope for a better tomorrow must remain. And I hope that together, right, we can find that hope lah. Because positivity, really have to believe in a better tomorrow that you'll fight for, kan? I think that's the other thing. You do see we are proud Singaporeans, right? We're very proud to be Singaporeans, especially when we are overseas. Very proud, right? We fly off like proudly, this mighty red dot. So I would say that I hope we continue to be proud Singaporeans, and then proudly build the home that we're proud of lah. Bangga hashtag
Betul.
Majulah Singapura.
Especially kalau you pergi overseas, you dengar orang slang Singapore. Terus ada Singaporean kat sini.
Kan you dengar je
kita dah tahu. Like,
I must tell you a story. So I thought we were in Korea. Then my better half and I, then ada two girls tau. Habis waktu itu tak ada, saya rasa macam kita nak kena cari shuttle bus ke apalah. Habis tak jumpa. Manalah saya ni tak boleh anyong sangat lah kan. tak boleh lah. So kita macam sama-sama, oh no, where we going. Then lepas tu we look at each other, and I'm like, are you guys from Singapore? Then they're like, yeah, we thought you're Singaporeans too. I said, okay, never mind, let's stick together. Right, so we formed like a little core, 4 of us, and we were the only 4 that needed to take a shuttle bus to go to one place. Lepas tu macam mana ni, tak boleh communicate. And so we were lucky, right? We looked out for each other because we knew that we were the only 4 going to this place. And alhamdulillah, we got the sajang name, the boss of that place, to help us to go to this other tempat. And then we stayed there for I think 1 or 2 nights, and throughout the 2 days we just like looked out for each other.
Oh, that's nice.
It was so nice. Tak kenal sebelum ni, We're like, let's take each other's numbers in case we have an issue where we need to coordinate the shuttle again, or like, if we need to get food or whatever, or we need to head out. So then you suddenly form a tribe, and then you're like, oh, okay, and follow on Instagram. So I thought that's the thing, right? We are so proud and happy to see one another as Singaporeans when we're overseas. That must be felt here also lah.
Betul.
Time tu dia tahu tak you MP?
Time tu mungkin belum ah.
Mesti dia dah follow Instagram.
Kan? Tak tahu lah pula
Kalau I pun I macam
MP lah
kan. Lepas tu kita kecoh cari shuttle.
Cari shuttle. We were looking for the shuttle yang tak ada.
Okay.
Yeah. So Puan Hazlina, politics can be intense kan? So tapi dia cakap very human. But what's been the most rewarding or unexpectedly nice part of the job so far?
The du'as, to get the well wishes and the du'as of residents whom you meet for the first time, but understand the immense amanah that you carry. That's really that's really nice. Of course, sometimes I actually enjoy when young people have courage to ask a question and have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
And there are many out there. I've walked at car parks atau macam kat daerah perumahan estate. And then the young people will say hello. Then they'll say, so is there anything you wanna ask or you wanna chat about? And then they ask. And I thought, oh, that's a very good question. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me how your friends feel about it. And that's an unexpected joy that I find when young people are courageous to share their thoughts and opinions and do it in an etiquette that is appreciated, very respectful.
Yeah.
And I welcome, I welcome that exchange.
Yeah.
So I really thought that's a nice part of it as well. Next is you realize that, inshallah and alhamdulillah, you do have opportunities to make a difference in lives, right? For example, the littlest thing I remember, but this one was before when I was helping and volunteering. I remembered a lady just came to me and asked for the simplest thing, to reset her password.
Oh.
She was stuck. She couldn't reset the app of her password, and she didn't want to trouble her children.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I hope also that for our young, your supporters and followers of Cik Kotni, if you still have parents, please assure them that they are not burdened, that you're there for them. Because our parents segan with us sometimes. So I really think it's important for us to be there for our parents. They brought us here, they are there for us, kan. So that lady, that just to reset the password, satu cara. Satu lagi, some maybe retirees yang cik nak jual rumah tapi cik tak tahu macam mana nak start. Just to get an advice, and I will always say that saya bukan expert realtor, tapi kalau cara-cara begini-begini, so you are like the friend, or the person that they reach out to. So you really are the person, you really make a difference, have this opportunity to make a difference in lives.
Yeah.
And that one is something we really do our best, as a team. We really try our best. But sometimes memang susah. Sometimes best also not enough, kan?
Yeah, betul.
But the main point is mesti cubalah. So kita cubalah.
Yeah.
I think that would be it. I also think that politics, or rather serving as a member of parliament, make you discover parts of you that you can be better at. People who come to see you for help are really in a troubled spot.
Yeah.
Right, so you're a bit more. You learn to be better listeners.
Yeah.
Kan, and I also reframe the meetings. I always share with my residents. Let's not only meet when you have challenges, right? Let's not this relationship be only about challenges.
Yeah.
Let's redefine this relationship to be about celebrating joy together. And so recently I had my education awards where we celebrated the achievements of the kids in school, the children in school. It was so nice, like to be a part of that. And I really thank the families. Thank you for letting us celebrate with you.
Yeah.
So it's such a nice feeling, kan?
Yeah.
I think the main point of that is you are really have a direct impact, inshallah. Inshallah. Yeah. And I hope also that it inspires more people like you and I and you to think about how we add to the ecosystem of support. We all have a part to play. Really, really, we all have a part to play.
Betul sangat. Okay, so I have a question.
Saya.
Since you have always been an advocate for macam women empowerment, tadi the quote that you mentioned from Puan Halimah, it's all about empowering women. Kan? What is one thing that you are excited to push for in the community untuk kaum-kaum wanita kita dekat Singapore ni?
Saya bernasib baiklah. Sejauh ini perkhidmatan saya semua sekitar keluarga, kanak-kanak dan juga wanita yang terkait. Saya percaya terkait.
Yes.
So I hope that women gets the support we need to choose what we can achieve. Right? And it's about getting support, whether at home, whether at work, whether in the community. So I think one big piece that everyone is looking at is, of course, the flexibility of work, to redefine what work means. because there is life in work, right? I think that's one aspect that's really important.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you will agree, but I have a strong feeling that you will. Everything is slightly more challenging than women because we can handle it. No,
I love that.
I do sense that it can be a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Because we're different, men and women, but we are partners. I've never felt that it's one over the other, and I think it's really important to be together on a journey. Like I say, without my MVP, I wouldn't be here.
Betul
You
sangat.
know, it's really a system of support, and for your person to be the MVP, you are also play a part in supporting your person's aspirations. It's a team unit, you know, how you
betul.
design what is our aspirations, right? So I think that redefining what work means and aspiration means is key. To have a partnership lah between when you are building a home. You know, how do you share goals? How does your family work towards what is our norm? What is our values? I think we're in a good space. I think I'm very proud to see young fathers who are really actively playing a building role in the family and at work. So it's very encouraging, I feel, right? That's one aspect of it. And the other aspect about womankind is that scientifically we live longer.
Oh, really?
Our life expectancy for women in Singapore is 85. For men is about 80, which means that we want to do our part to help women plan for the later life. Right? We are, alhamdulillah, living a lot longer in Singapore. And how do you plan for that? The planning is not just for retirement.
Yeah.
Right? In 2030, our retirement age will be 70. But we are going to live... Qadar and ajal is in tangan Allah, right? But science say it's around there, right? And how do you prepare for a meaningful life in and until that point?
Betul.
So I think that's also another aspect that we need to work towards as a community, as women.
Yeah.
Because on my house visits, I do often see women who are living alone, right? Because their spouses have passed on, and they need to relearn how to live their lives with their children's support. So I think that is a key aspect to equip our women for later years.
I think I also want to touch on your political campaign so far that you've done. Kan? Kita pernah nak, I mean, I've watched lah on TV your GE rally semua, and I feel like it's so beautiful that you include pantun in. Kan? Macam like what we were saying off air tadi, macam aku cakap, aku macam dah lama tak dengar orang berbual Melayu macam classic Malay. You know, like it sounds so beautiful.
It is beautiful, our language.
Yeah,
Kan?
it is. What's your take on that, Miss Has?
Saya rasa bahasa itu adalah sesuatu kuasa. You know, I think language is power.
Yeah.
Because when you speak someone's language, there is a natural trust and natural relationship. Sebab itulah saya dulu tadika, waktu tadika tu tak ada cikgu Melayu. Jadi di peringkat tadika saya belajar bahasa Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
Masa tadika lah. Dan yelah, waktu kita di prasekolah kan, itu adalah waktu-waktu di mana apa yang kita belajar tu kita simpan macam sponge kan, budak-budak kan. Saya fikir dari situ bermulanya penyesuaian dan keselesaan dengan bahasa Mandarin. Jadi masih tersimpan, terkandung, masih bila saya dapat menggunakannya bersama dengan saya punya penduduk-penduduk yang berbahasa Mandarin. Cik Zul pun cakap kan, saya dengar dia bercerita tentang macam mana nak sebut nama dia kan.
Betul.
Kan, jadi samalah. Saya rasa apabila saya cakap my name is Has, then they'll be like Has, Hash, right? It's hard to say kan.
Yeah.
So then you say, my name is Hazlina, you can call me Has. 你可以叫我Helina. You know, so like macam you speak with them and they 你可以讲华语还好啊. Then you have to always counter, as I always say, 听了sikit boleh tapi masih tak cukup. You know, then I will always say, I think your English is better than my Mandarin, you know. And half the time you can say, and my favorite is they will ask like, oh, you Melayu ah? I'm like, you boleh cakap Melayu, marilah cakap Melayu. And you'll be surprised, it was a lingua franca.
Yep.
Right? So
Betul.
our elderlies could actually speak it, so it's really quite nice. So to your point, I think language is a tool, something we should get comfortable with and use. And kalau kita tak pakai, tak gunakan, tak relevan lagi, luput sebahagian identiti kita. It is our identity, and something that we want to embrace.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think thank you for watching the speeches. Saya tulis sendiri tau.
I think so.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think a lot of people, of course, most of us, we take a lot of time to think about what we want to say. Just like you and I, while you shared earlier that this is a very chillax and a very spontan programming.
Yeah.
We all think about what we want to say because it is a responsibility. Words are important,
Yes,
That's why we talk about positivity, kan, dan sebagainya. So for me, it's about really thinking of how words really can heal and not hurt. I think I mean I touched on that really, really, really importantly. Masyarakat kita ni halus. Bahasa kita pun sebenarnya halus. For example, saya selalu teringat Prof. Faisal. Beliau seorang yang sangat berhemah dan cara penggunaan bahasanya dan cara beliau berkomunikasi. Bagi kita it's encouraging lah, kita menghormati apabila kita melihat our leadership pembimbing kita sebegitu rupa, kita juga rasa terpanggil untuk berhemah, lebih menjaga perasaan satu sama lain, lebih hormat satu sama lain. Saya rasa I may have dropped like 3 or 4 pantuns throughout the time that I've been, but I really believed in it. So in my maiden speech in Parliament, I actually chose and talked to some friends and some volunteers. I chose 3 different peribahasas in 3 different languages to highlight, to connect with the community. Itulah niatnya sebenarnya, using a peribahasa in 3 different languages. So that saya percaya setiap community ada pegangan masing-masing kan. So that was why I used it, from the Tamil to the Mandarin to the Malay. In the Malay one, I spoke about kuat lilit kerana simpulnya, which is a unity. In Mandarin, I talked about lau lau, and which basically talks about the value of an old person. Or that you're going to be old one day too, right? And then in Tamil also, it was about how the persistence of an ant can wear out a rock. So it's really about the belief in sometimes language cannot translate. Right? Just a little bit of it. That's right. I macam seram you're going to ask me for a pantun or apa. macam boleh rasa.
I faham yang dia cakap tak boleh translate pasal I always feel kalau joke dalam bahasa Melayu kan lebih kelakar.
Alright.
Because kalau you nak translate ke English, dia dah tak kelakar.
Faham. I agree.
Tak, macam kadang kawan-kawan Cina saya, nanti saya tengok something kelakar yang Melayuan, nanti dia macam tell me what's so funny. I want to translate, not funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And something is so interesting, right? The extra that the languages bring you. It's just so much meaning to it, and I hope that really that we use our words to heal and not to hurt. Senang aja nak terasa kan.
Betul sangat. I think it's just the beauty of our language lah.
Ya betul. Sebagai dulu you newscaster, lepas tu you buat community work, lepas tu now you jadi MP kan. So it's so stressful tau. Kita orang luar ni kita tengok macam banyaknya benda. Betul, mesti very padat lah jadual you. So what do you do on like your off days?
On your rest days?
Itu satu perubahan besar sebenarnya kalau setelah menjadi ahli parlimen ni. Quite enjoy scuba diving. I haven't done it in a while, but I really enjoyed it. My MVP and I, that's something that we do quite a bit. So
that's so nice.
Yeah, it's really it's nice to be able to explore a new sport together and learn together. I haven't done that in a while, but I really do enjoy it. I like quiet moments to stay home, and just to have. We spoke earlier about having time to think, to reflect.
Yeah.
You spoke about how your chick coders or your chick babes write to you and they are able to express. I think that pause is important to be able to just reset. So I do enjoy a good book as well. But now I think our habits have changed. Dulu macam baca buku, sekarang baca Kindle. But I really like hard copy book. But one thing that I realized that has changed for me, and it's also because just how we live our lives now. I never used to read a few books at the same time. Dulu macam satu buku sampai habis start to stop.
Betul.
And I enjoy reading fiction. Just fiction about the world. So just to see how other people live lives lah, kan? From different countries, different languages. So we do that too, right? I mean, all of you, kita kalau macam stream on Netflix, cerita ni sekejap pause, cerita tu sekejap pause, right? So I realised that I'm reading pun macam gitu. So right now I have like 3 books yang separuh-separuh lah, macam sekejap macam ni, okay, stop, tukar buku, you know? That's that's what technology has done. But if you think about it, right, that's change, right? In some of us. And the other way to sort of decompress, as you mentioned, is really to have reflection time lah, and to speak with your close family and friends who are there to, you know that they're there to help you be better, give you real feedback, right? And at the same time, also be supportive, because we want to be encouraging as well. Yeah, but I do hope to be able to dive a little bit more.
You should.
Dah lama. Do you dive?
No, I'm scared. I can swim though, but
Half the battle won. Half the battle won.
I'm afraid of the ocean.
Oh.
Takut kena ngap lah, Puan Haz.
Oh, ya ke?
You tak takut?
Saya rasa the ocean is a mystery. There's more water than land.
I know.
It's so unknown.
And
And that's the scary part, right?
Yeah, that's the scary part,
That's true.
honestly.
Yeah.
Saya kalau menyelam, saya jenis yang tidak pegang apa-apa. Sepatutnya memang tak sepatutnya pun pegang-pegang kan. So I dive just to see what's unseen. It's really quite amazing.
Wow.
Really, really amazing. And then you go, there is this whole world that you don't know of. You know?
Itu yang scary pada kita.
Yeah. It can be.
Yeah.
And then it's also about, like most sports is also about mind over matter.
Yeah.
Right? There's a bit of a mental component, much as it's a physical sport as well.
Yeah.
So I think that they're part of it. I also find there are many ways that we can decompress lah. Whether it's reading, whether it's sport, whether it's something quiet time, whether it is also cooking, you know, or baking. There's so many things to do. I think so long as we find something that resets or recharges us, I am really trying to find the value in filling your cup.
Yeah, I think that is so important. We always say to our listeners out there to always fill your cup, because when you fill your cup, you are able to fill others.
Yeah. How do you fill your cup?
From you. How do you fill your cup?
I think ever since I moved into my house, I'm a homebody lah. So I just like to spend time with like my better half and also my baby. Other than that, I love to go to Pilates, tapi I have yet to start again because baru lepas beranak kan. So maybe I'll start lah next week lah.
Yeah, please do.
But I do enjoy that. Have you tried Pilates?
You know, I have, but not with the reformer.
Oh, okay.
I think it stretches you beyond your imagination.
Yes, correct. Yeah. To me, it's fun lah. What about you?
Me, how I fill my cup? Actually, very good question. I always tell people to fill their cup, and I never ask about myself. I love to go for spas and massages.
Nice.
Yeah, and I make it like maybe a bi-weekly thing or a monthly thing. It's just like macam a self-treat for myself.
That's
like, you know, I
great.
work so hard, you know, just pergilah massage. You know what I mean?
Betul.
Yeah.
Sakit otot-otot ni tegang. Yeah.
Lama tak dengar perkataan otot-otot, Puan Wirda.
Oh ya, terima kasih.
Otot-otot.
Saya suka gunakan word otot-otot. Pasal selalu otot-otot saya sakit. Puan Hazlina.
Allah.
Okay. I think kita dapat banyak insight lah from Puan Hazlina today. Like, I think it's a very insightful episode untuk our listeners out there as well. Kalau kita dengar macam dorang dengar kita berbual macam tak habis-habis dengan orang punya stories. You know, ini they call it they have a new segment, because today's episode dengan Encik Zul, they said Shikology.
Yes,
Shikology. Wow.
Shikology, and I love that. I'm going to call this series
Very cool.
Shikology.
I think
Yes.
it's very cool.
Yeah,
Shikology.
yes, on brand. Tetap on brand. Okay, so we're down with the last question lah. What would you tell your younger self?
Oh.
Yes, if you have a chance to speak to her, what would you tell her?
Wow. There was this campaign that was called To All Little Girls. I don't know whether you remember. For a while it was trending. I remembered saying, thinking really hard about, what would I say to little girls and myself?
Yeah.
I grew up as an only child, so my siblings came a little bit later. I was in secondary school when I had my brother and my sister. So I grew up as an only child. My friends was my grandma and her friends. So I was friends with the budak-budak silat, because I went to silat. My dad sent me to silat so that I could defend myself, and they were all like abang-abang suku. I was like 7 years old, and these are like national athletes masa tu, and then at the same time my friends were my grandmother's friend, yang kawan-kawan berzanji lah, kawan-kawan mengaji lah.
Marhaban.
Kan, marhaban. That's right. And so it's so varied, because my parents were both working, and I grew up with my grandparents, and then we, of course, we had neighbors, and exposed to many other communities. It made me realize that everyone has a story.
Betul.
And because of that, there's this phrase that I was thinking about really hard as to what to tell the little girls. So I remember coming up with this prose, I suppose, this line that said, to all the little girls, you will be big girls one day. And when that day comes, make sure you don't let any big girls feel little.
Make sure you don't let anyone feel
And,
Wow.
Wait,
You will be a big girl one day.
right?
So once you're a big girl,
Shouldn't make other girls feel little. I think that is something that I really thought about deeply, that we should get each other's backs, right? And we should champion each other. And I think that was something I really enjoyed doing. But if you asked me what I would tell my my younger self, I would say that continue being brave, because you are where you're meant to be. We all have fairly deep baritone voices, which is not the norm for a girl. I remember when I was in primary school, call a friend, and people would say it's a boy.
yeah,
Kan?
Yep. Same.
Kan?
I've got that. Aku pernah buat same.
Kan? And then I remember when I was in secondary school, we all had to go for choir auditions, and my school had that. And I remembered baru like kata orang tu, kalau berapa harakat mungkin baru 2 harakat, belum sampai 3, belum sampai 6, the teacher already say, okay, see. I was like, dah ada ni. Like, that's how much I knew I can't sing, I was like, man, I think that the concept is really about, it was something you were conscious about, right?
Yeah.
Your voice, you sounded like a boy, can't sing, you were a C. And then it was this kelebihan that gave me rezeki, that gave me amanah, so just continue being brave, and everything happens for a reason lah, you're where you're meant to be. So I hope that was macam terbayang sih that photo pergi tumble tots masa kecil-kecil. I bet y'all mesti lain generasi, mesti mereka tidak berapa faham bila saya cakap tumble tots tu. Macam preschool lah, preschool.
Preschool.
No, I think it's really about just really embracing the courage, and have faith lah.
Yeah,
Have
betul.
faith, inshallah. We talked about positivity today. We talked about hope.
Yes.
We talk about the beauty of our culture, our budaya. We talk the beauty about being a human being that helps and makes a difference in lives.
Yes.
And then we talked about sharing the power, whether it's the voice, whether it's the privilege. And I really appreciated that opportunity. And I hope that, Chick Code continues to be the space for womankind. And I really, really am grateful that you've shared this this space or this tribe with me. Selalu kalau kita pergi acara-acara masyarakat kita kan, dia buka ada pantun, habis ada pantun tau. Macam, you boleh tak jual beli?
Jual beli
Tidak, saya gurau saja.
Puan Hazlina, sebelum kita tutup, of course lah kita takkan tutup selagi you tak bagi you punya skincare tips. Because kita tengok daripada kita kecil, kita tengok you kat kaca TV.
Betul. You
tak
sama
ubah-ubah. Tak fair you kena share.
Daripada yang Esa pinjamkan sementara
Masya Allah.
saya minat skincare. Saya minat skincare. Kalau makeup kurang sikit, tapi saya minat skincare. So just make sure that you find what works for you, right? Your 3-step skincare macam tu. And tapi satu yang saya rasa ramai kita di Singapura tak practice is sunblock.
Betul. Yes, correct. Penting.
So sunblock tu penting. Waktu saya menetap dan menuntut di Australia, mereka ada sun education, where the kids belajar pakai sunblock kerana keadaan di sana lebih hangat lah, sama kan, macam 40 degrees macam tu kan. Jadi saya rasa penting untuk kita, sunblock is important. Take care of yourself, you want to live meaningful life. So I would say sunblock lah, is something, and skincare lah. Saya lihat wajah-wajah jelita Sofia dengan Wirda ni rasa macam kerdil pula. Dia diminta tip. Saya pun nak tanya tip-tip penjagaan keterampilan kata orang.
Keterampilan. Kita makeup je bertepek.
Tapi I'm also a skincare lover. Because
she's a skincare lover.
On my social media, so before we became a podcaster, kita like beauty influencers lah. So kita always advocate about SPF. My favorite quote is like, use SPF now, so your 40-year-old self will thank you for it.
That's a very good question.
Right.
Sis 40-year-old, thank you.
Tapi betul kan?
Betul
SPF,
kan? Yes.
A living example.
Betul,
Use your
guys.
SPF, girlies. Kan?
Sama je daripada kecil sampai kita sekarang ni, muka Cik Has sama je.
Cantik, sangat cantik.
Sama-sama. Cantik luar, cantik dalam, cantik macam mama. Lagu apa?
Cantik luar,
Cantik. Lagu apa?
Cuba Cik Hazlina lah yang nyanyi. Cantik
It's a
luar,
song.
cantik dalam, cantik
Babas?
Aduh, jauh itu rempah kari.
Babas rempah kari.
Babas.
Clue dia ada nama Inka Madina. You got it. You got the melody.
Yes. Cantik luar, cantik dalam, cantik dalam.
Bukan
Dia rap,
lah.
dia macam hip hop. Betul tak?
Yes, lagu. Cantik luar, cantik dalam, cantik macam mama.
Comedy, something like that. Malik, is it?
It's called Senyum. Dulu DJ. Dulu.
Oh yeah, betul.
Yeah.
Alright, so thank you so much, Miss Hazlina. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us.
Thank you. I also wanted to say really thanks for the safe space, and really welcome the opportunity to be a part of your beautiful tribe.
Thank you.
If I can leave us all with a pantun that I hope you think about a bit deeply, is really the beauty of our budaya and how proud we must be of it, as Singaporeans and as Malays, right? And as Muslims. So yang kurit itu kundi, yang merah itu saya. Bukan. Yang kurit itu kundi, yang merah itu saga. Yang baik itu budi, yang indah itu bahasa.
Masya Allah.
Such an
Balas.
Apa balas?
Itulah saya dah jual ni.
Pergi ke kedai beli cinta.
Berani kau.
Tak boleh lah.
Cubalah.
Kurang.
Tak boleh lah.
Ya, tak
ini
boleh.
pantun betul punya.
Ya.
Tak kisahlah.
Okay. How do we win that? We
It is not about winning, it's about buying sahaja.
Come on, Wirda. Come on.
Okay.
A classic one. Come on.
jumpa lagi di masa hadapan.
Yes.
Pan. Yang
Kalau ada,
depan.
kalau ada sumur di ladang, boleh saya menumpang mandi. Kalau ada masa yang panjang, boleh kita berjumpa lagi.
I see.
Dah kasih tip tu, silalah.
Apa kau lah cakap?
Kau more like news presenter. Compared to me.
Dah, kelakar benar.
Dah kena.
Kalau ada sumur di ladang, boleh saya menumpang mandi. Kalau ada umur panjang, harap kita jumpa lagi.
Masya Allah.
Bravo.
Bravo. Bravo, bravo.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this episode. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.